Good afternoon, everybody. It is lovely to be here on a very sunny and beautiful blue sky Glasgow afternoon. Really excited to be here to see you all and speak to you today. And hopefully you're all you're all considering our university, and hopefully some of you will be here come September. My name is Emma Smith, and I am part of the College of Social Sciences Student Experience team. Now, one of the key things that we want you to know about if you're considering coming to our College of Social Sciences is that not only are you going to have a whole raft of excellent, really interesting academic courses available to you, but also that you have access to a dedicated skills programme that will support your employability. Now, we know that students coming to Glasgow are motivated by an interest in a particular subject area, but also that students are massively concerned about improving their career prospects. And that is where our college employability programme comes in. So I'm just going to share my screen with you. So we have the college employability programme. Now, the College Employability Programme is a series of asynchronous, very interactive online courses that are really designed to help you do exactly what it says here on the slide. We want you to plan your time here at Glasgow to ensure that you make the most of all of the opportunities that are available to you and that will help you develop your employability. We then have courses around developing key skills and experiences, which you will need in your academic programs and your courses, but also that will be very valuable in your future careers. And then we have a series of courses that help you to communicate all of your key skills and experiences, whether they're extracurricular, academic or work-related activities, but how you then communicate those effectively to employers. So with all of our courses, there are tutors behind the scenes who are there to encourage you and provide you with feedback as you go through. And on completion of all of our courses, you will receive a digital badge and a certificate that is just demonstrating your commitment to your professional development. You also have the chance to have one-to-one appointments with any member of the team at any time around the courses or your employability more generally. So the fun bit starts now. I'm not going to talk the whole time, but there's a tool we use here at Glasgow that you might be familiar with, or if not, you soon will be if you're here in September. It's called Mentimeter. So what I want you to do is to go to menti.com and to enter, it's www.menti.com, and use the code that's there on the screen. Sorry, bear with me. I'm going the wrong way. 463-29520. And if you could just pick which of those answers that your motivations are. Is it around pursuing a subject of interest? Your main motivation for coming to Glasgow, is it your pursuit of a particular subject, about developing skills, or do you just really not know what you want to do? So I'll give you a couple of seconds to answer that. Menti.com, and you should be able to just access that, and the code is 463-29520. Okay, we've got one in there. Now, it's just a little fun tool. I should say there are no right or wrong answers. It's really just to get you a little bit involved in the session, thinking about why you're here. And it's okay if you also don't know, you just want to do a degree. For me, when I started, it was delaying getting a job. I had no idea what I wanted to do. And so university seemed like the logical thing to do. And also parental pressure, of course, is in there, but we haven't put that as an option. So if you just, I'll give you a couple more seconds. We've got a few answers coming in there. And again, no right or wrong answers. So we've got some with pursuing a subject of interest. So yeah, that's the greatest starting point, to be honest. If you are interested in a particular subject, it is great to find out more about it. The subject itself will not necessarily, it might not be very vocational subject. None of that matters, because what will happen during your studies is you'll develop a whole range of skills that will be transferable into any career that you want to go into when you graduate. And yes, a degree will also help you on your career pathway. So that's a good answer too. But actually, all of these are valid answers. There's no right or wrong answer. But to achieve, those of you that have put in the pursuing a subject of interest and getting a better career, to achieve these goals, you're going to have to put in the effort and challenge yourself during your time here at Glasgow and make the most of every opportunity. And we can certainly help you with that. Employability is not just about the job that you get at the end of your degree programme, but rather it's about all of the skills and experiences that you will develop through your academic studies, but also through your extracurricular and any work-related activities that you might take on, and all of that which gives you the chance to develop skills that will make you a valuable asset in the workplace. So I just very quickly, we're going to move on from Mentimeter, but keep it open because we will be coming back to Mentimeter. I've got another couple of questions for you. We provide, as I said, a range of courses, and they are kind of divided into 3 sections, and the first 2 are around that planning. So when you arrive in September, fingers crossed you're coming, these are the courses I would suggest you start with. We have an induction course that really is just about telling you about the resources and support available to you with some top tips. And then the planning your employability is about thinking about all of the activities that you might want to get involved in alongside your studies, like societies, sports clubs, whatever that might be. We then have the developing your skills and experiences courses. Throughout your studies, you are going to develop a whole host of transferable skills through your academic studies and through your assignments. Things like group projects that you're going to be faced with, presentations, consultancy projects, perhaps even policy briefs, which all might sound a little bit daunting. But don't worry, help is at hand through these courses that will help you every step of the way. And then finally, we have our communicating your skills and experiences. There's no point in having all these skills and exciting experiences if you do not know how to communicate those effectively to employers. So I now kind of just want to focus on a couple of key skill areas because I can't cover everything in a short session. But there are 2 skills that you will be faced with that you'll be need to develop during your time at university, and also that will be very useful in your chosen careers. And the first of those is group work. Now, group assignments and group assessments are notoriously unpopular with students. So you're probably wondering why on earth we make you do them. And really, it's because teamwork is a skill that is always in the top 10 skills that employers desire. So what we want to do here is to give you the chance to develop and practice those skills. So I've got a question for you to come back to in Menti, but the reason we think that group work is so disliked by students generally is because it's not because you don't enjoy working with others. It's more that there's a lack of understanding of how groups work, how to work effectively with each other. And of course, there are always really common challenges that arise. However, one of the things that we think, or I personally think, is that we spend so little time when we're faced with group activities, thinking about how we behave in those group situations, how we work and how we interact with others. And we all have very, very different approaches. So what I'm going to do now is ask you to go back to Menti, and we'll take this discussion a little bit further. So in this diagram, which I'll point you to the Menti in a moment, this is just a very simplified diagram of common behaviors that we often see when we're working in groups. So they're not an exhaustive list. They're just for a bit of fun and to get you thinking. So we have the cool blues, who are very cautious, very precise. We have the fiery reds, who are the people who will drive the project forward, who are very strong-willed, very determined. We have the caring and the encouraging and the calm and patient earth greens, who are also key for any group activities. And you have the sunshine yellows, who are very sociable, very demonstrative, and can be very excitable. Now, I fall into that category. So what that means for me, the sunshine yellow, is when I am faced with a group activity, I am the person who will go in and go, "Hi there, I'm Emma. What do you do? What's your name? What are you studying? How are you today?" I'll be all about the social dynamics within a group. So what I want you to do is to go back to that Menti and just again, don't think too long on it, but which of those categories do you think that you fall into? What are the sort of determining factors for you in there? Again, there is no right or wrong answer. It's just for a bit of fun and to get you reflecting on your own behavioural preferences. And you might also think that you sit across two. That's also fine. We don't all fit into one category. But if you could go into the Menti now and again select which of those quadrants you most comfortably see yourself fitting. So we've got fiery reds, sunshine yellow, earth green, and cool blues. I'm the sunshine yellow, as I said, and actually, in my team, we have a real mix of people. And the good thing is you need the mix of people in groups. That is one of the key things. We are all different, but the purposes of you've got lots of different tasks when you're working in a group. So having people who have preferred areas of work or preferred styles of working is a really, really useful tool. So we've got a few responses in there. Menti.com and the code 46329520. So we've got one of each at the minute. So this would say we have a really, really balanced team. It means we'll have people who behave in different ways and like to take on different tasks. And again, that is great because you need that to work effectively in a team. So we've got a fiery red in there. So that's the person who's likely to drive your project forward, be very focused and determined. You've got your sunshine yellow, who's around managing the relationships, checking everyone's on board. Your cool blue is sort of attention to detail, making sure everything is done to standard. And your earth greens are around about the people. They're very calm, very patient, and very relaxed. So this is a really sort of simple analysis or a reflection tool to think about team role preferences. What I would say, for every positive trait that we see here, there is usually a flip side where the traits might not be so positive. So this is where we quite often get some giggles when we do this with students in classes, because this is the sort of less positive traits. So for those fiery reds, while you're essential for a project and are very determined and you're pushing the project through to completion, you can be seen as a little bit aggressive or taking control of things. So just be mindful of that. The sociable, dynamic sunshine yellows can be a little bit excitable and a bit flamboyant and can drive some people nuts. And I'm aware that I can do that. So it's just a tool to make you start reflecting on how you behave and understanding that people behave differently. Because one of the challenges always of working in a group is that people are different and we communicate differently and we like to do different things when working in a group. As I said, this is a very simple tool. What we use here at Glasgow is the Belbin self-assessment. Now that is part of our group work to teamwork course. And what that is a much more nuanced self-assessment where you're asked lots of questions about how you like to work and behave in groups. And what you get out at the end is a very, very detailed report on your group work behaviours, and it will help you to identify your preferred team roles. So the next skill that I wanted to just cover very quickly is another skill that you are going to need throughout your studies and certainly when you go into the workplace, and that is presentation skills. Now, you are going to communicate a lot during your time at Glasgow. You'll have lots of written assignments and assessments and policy briefs, all these sorts of things, reports to do. But you will also highly likely to be asked to do either assessed or formative presentations. And again, presentations are probably disliked even more than working in groups. So what I want you to do, again, is go to Menti and just put in a couple of words or a word, whatever you think, around what do you think of, or what did you think of the moment I said that you are likely to have a presentation at least once during your time here at Glasgow. So there we go, there's the Menti. So just type in a couple of words. Again, there's no right or wrong answers. This is anonymous. So nobody's going to know what you say, but what I'm hoping that you will see is that other people feel the same way. So there's like fear, there's some joy, anxiety. Yep. Now, the bigger the word, the more common it's said. Good. Oh, we've got a good in there. Excited. This is good. So this is great. So that is a real mix in there. So for those of you that are excited about it, that's great. You're embracing it. It doesn't mean you love doing it, but you go, yeah, this is good. This is a real opportunity for you. Anxiety, fear, nerves, they are the most common response. And again, it is okay to feel all of those things. You may never love doing presentations. I don't always love doing it, and I always get a little bit nervous. But the thing that you can do is learn to control those nerves a little bit more and to just get more effective and present with more confidence. The fear is sometimes the fear arises from not really knowing how to structure or how to effectively deliver a presentation. But again, these are things that you can learn to get better at. And so I've kind of done a very whistle-stop tour of all the support that we can give you in the employability team. What I want you to take away from today is that while you will have lots of support, but you will have lots of support around academic assignments, you will also have support from Careers Service, and you'll have support from the employability team. We are just one element of the support that's available to you here at Glasgow. And what I really hope is that you're going to have some questions for me now, and that when you come to Glasgow in September and start with us, that I will see you in one of our courses and get to work with you in the future. So I'm going to open the floor for any questions, and I shall stop sharing. And there is a chat facility if you want to add those questions into the chat. That would be good. Realize there's probably a lot of information in there. I think we will share the slides with you, but our college employability program is open and on the web pages. You can see everything that's there and that's available for you. When you come to Glasgow, you have the chance for one-to-one appointments with us around the courses or skills development more generally. So are there any questions? No questions. We have a question coming in. How will joint honours affect employment? It won't. It won't. I mean, what I would say is, first and foremost, if you're doing subjects that you're interested about and interested in, that's the best starting point. Joint honours will give you, depending on what your subjects are, but I mean, it might give you two very distinct career routes, or they might be quite well aligned. But I certainly did joint honours. Loads of our students do joint honours. So it won't hinder, it won't enhance. I think your degree is what you want to do, and it will be relevant to any job that you go into. If you've got specific ideas of what you want to go into, then your degree will give you transferable skills. So that was Will. Thank you, Will. the good thing also about a joint honours is it keeps your options broader. So for example, if you were doing sociology, again, or maybe I picked a broad subject, if you were doing politics, sociology, you know, that's going to, when people do politics, they often get asked, do you want to be a politician? But very few people answer yes to that. But what I would say is that a politics sociology degree will give you a lot of background at academic and specialised knowledge, but through learning about that, you will learn lots of skills that will take you into specific jobs, and you can tailor that as you go through your degree programme. There will be different course options, so you can start to tailor it according to your interests and your career aspirations. Hopefully that answers your question, Will. Have we any other questions? I should have had the stats to hand, and apologies that I don't, but the statistics of our students once they graduate going into positive destinations is very high. It's probably available on our web pages somewhere, but I would, if you want to email me, I can look that out for you at some future point. But yeah, having a degree from Glasgow will certainly help you. Have we any other questions? I'm also on LinkedIn. If anybody has questions that they don't want to ask here or want to reach out to me before making decisions, then please do reach out. If I can't help, I'll find the person who can. But yes, any questions or you want to get in touch with me, emmasmith.2@LinkedIn is the one you can get me on, or you can email me directly. I think there's another question in there from Ravata. How does Glasgow's employment compare to other universities? Favourably. I mean, graduates do well. You know, graduates still do very well in terms of the positive outcomes. And Glasgow in the College of Social Sciences is pretty high up there. Again, sorry, I didn't bring it with me today. I should have had that to hand. But yes, it is favourable. Our students largely, by and large, go into positive destinations. We have employment surveys. There are surveys that students are asked to complete immediately after graduation, and then later, a year later, I think it is, that they're asked to do sort of asking them where they are they in positive destinations, are they in full-time employment, and the percentages are very high for that. There will be statistics on it somewhere as well. As I said, we could pull that out for you at some point, and particularly around, we'll do it for certain programs as well. There will be information around that. But yes, Glasgow graduates do well. You will be asked, once you're a student in here, there'll be lots of surveys that you'll be asked to complete over the years that you're here, and that is what we use in terms of recruitment, in terms of course development, and in terms of the activities that we participate in and changing courses to make sure that our students are getting the best experience that they can and the best help in terms of what happens next. I think, is that all? I'm just scrolling through the questions. Pop your questions in. Yeah. Hopefully that answers your questions. Okay, so we are slightly ahead of time, but if anybody's got some questions, happy to stay on here, happy to chat. What you probably don't want to do is hear me waffle on. So I'll ask one last time, if there's any other questions, please pop them in the chat. If there isn't, you can feel free to email me after the session, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn, and I will happily answer any questions I can. So any final questions? Okay, I think no more questions. So in that case, what I will say, I'll end by saying, I hope that you really do consider Glasgow and coming to join us in September. I certainly love working here, and I know lots of students that love coming here, and hopefully I will get to meet you in either one of our courses or through your own academic courses once you start in September. But good luck. Hope you enjoy the sunshine the rest of the day, and maybe this is the start of summer.